Oh no. No, 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 no. You want some Medicam for your leg?
How dare you?
You're working me too hard. Had the big divorce this morning.
That's 2023 right there.
We sort of have some good news intertwined with bad, as cancer and chemo typically is. Did you? Good afternoon. It is Saturday, I think. We took yesterday off. We got rain. I think we got 3/4 of an inch yesterday, 3/4 of an inch this morning. Quite often work will fall into the weekends, so sometimes we will take a Friday off or a Monday off, just depending when it rains. And yesterday, Jess was feeling pretty good, and she actually wanted to go see Barbie with her friends, the movie Barbie, and I really wanted to see it too, which surprises everybody on Instagram. They're like, "You went to see Barbie?" I'm like, yeah. I love Barbie. So Mark said he wanted to go see it too, because he had heard good things about it. His brother took his daughter, so he's like, no, I want to take my daughter too. So we went yesterday and saw it. It was so good. As funny as it was, it had a lot of deeper messaging, which I thought was really good for Jess to see, really good for me to see, and really good for Mark to see. And he laughed and laughed and laughed, and yeah, he really liked it. And then today he texted Jack and he goes, how was Oppenheimer? Did you ever go see it? And he goes, no, I had a work thing, so I didn't get to go with my friends last night. So Mark took Jack. He went back to London this morning and they went and saw it at like 10 in the morning because all these movies are sold out. So anyway, we've had a great couple days with the kids. Unfortunately, Jess had a really good day yesterday, and today she just texted me and said she threw up. So Mark went to check on her right now. We're probably going to do a bag of fluids when she's sort of feeling like it. Her off weeks where she doesn't have a lot of chemo, they seem to be the worst for whatever reason. So she'll have a good day, and then she'll have like 2 bad days, a good day, 2 bad days. And today just happens to be a bad day. So we're hoping it's a little better tomorrow, because Mark wants to do like a birthday celebration and smoke something on the smoker. So he invited Jack back up tomorrow, and yeah, so we're kind of just having a nice chill sort of weekend. This cabin has got neglected because we've been so busy with Jess and with field work. So we literally come back here and do about, I don't know, 6 boards on the exterior, and then we like get called either back to the house or we run out of screws or something. The cabin is coming along. It looks really good. We have to paint a few more battens for the board and batten, but other than that, it looks really good. It's very cozy. It's sort of a nice little retreat for us, and it's still literally in our backyard.
Hey, life.
Get that off. No. Guys. Oh, shoot. Shoot. No. No. Oh my God. Good morning. Chores didn't exactly start the way a Sunday morning quiet chores should start. We did have a little hose come off because I had one little spot. I raised this nipple a couple weeks ago and I forgot to block off the hole where the old one was, and they fit their head in and they pulled off that hose, and it's been off for a good long while. I often giggle when people ask me when I'm going to wean my lambs, because I'm like, well, usually they tell me by doing something, either like biting the nipples, which they were doing as well, or they pull off hoses and whatnot. So yeah, they're weaned now. I wanted to wait a little bit longer with this group because the last ones were born, I think, July 2nd, but they are the biggest one in the pen and they're doing fine. So I left the water running for now. I blocked off all the holes and I replaced the nipples. So hopefully we won't have this over the next couple days, and then eventually I'll take the nipples out and just let them have water out of the pail. I like doing this. It cleans out the machine a bit. It just helps. Mind you, it probably got cleaned out overnight, no doubt. This morning it's cooled right off, and I notice we got some boys and girls showing a little interest this morning. Likely the cooler weather, and likely they're starting their second cycle. These guys are due to be pulled out on Wednesday, I believe. So today would be day 18. So they're right on time again to hit their second cycle. Oh yeah, they're jumping. I'm gonna finish some chores across the road, and then I'm hoping to meet up with a friend today. We usually try to get together quite a bit, but we haven't seen each other for a while because of Jess. So like to go have some coffee with her, and then I think Mark has plans for the family today. It was supposed to be just a nice chill Sunday. Well, that's what I get for taking over for Carissa. They like her much better. Got some arthritis too, honey. I think you do. Does that hurt me? You too? Unfortunately, I think Billy's mom and Ruby now have some arthritis showing up. Their front knee, hock joint, the joint right here, they're both a little swollen and they're really babying them. Now Ruby, this is chronic. Like, she's been showing signs of arthritis for probably 3 years now. So she's not really a surprise. She goes through good and bad bouts of it, but now Billy's mom's showing the same thing. Same joint. So not sure if I can give them like Medicam for the pain and a little bit of the inflammation. I think arthritis is inflammation. I am probably wrong. So maybe something that I might text Rex about. Probably good they're outside and they can move around and just exercise. Definitely not a new issue with Ruby, but this is the first time I've seen it with Billy's mom. And quite likely it's age. They're both like the older ewes of the group. It's weird though, because they're not sporting the weight that the Margie and Big Mama and Popcorn are, and they don't show signs of arthritis. She's really struggling there. Aren't you, Ruby? I think I'll give them Medicam. Anyways, I don't know how I'm going to catch Billy's mom. I'll be able to catch Ruby. At least it should help with if there's pain there. I shall do that. Hi, baby. I know I'd be able to catch you, don't I? You want some Medicam for your leg? Nothing in there. It's a trick. How's it going?
Me?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I burned my fingertips.
You did burn it.
Yeah, a little sore.
They're like, yeah, we brought in like a...
Looks like you're drinking beer, Jess. No. Oh no.
See that?
How is it? Angel food cake for the win. Good morning. We are doing our final sort and evaluation of these ewe lambs that were born in March. I picked a whole bunch to go through. They've been vaccinated twice, but there's a few I have too many, and there's a certain breed that I put in this group that I don't think I want. So basically, I'm really looking for the Rito sired ewe lambs. That's typically been always my ewe lamb selection base. And then after that, it's like feet and legs, if I can really see them walking. Confirmation weights, and then if they're a twin or a triplet or a quad. I think I accidentally put a few quads in here, and I'd rather not have that. I'd rather kind of have triplets as my max for lamb litter size. But we'll see what they look like. Alright, so you scan, basically see what they are. Hopefully it's transferred over. Straight through. Alright, we finished, and it looks like we have about 36 ewe lambs that made the final cut. So they're on this side, and the other ones are on that side. It looks a little full right now. What we're going to do, I left everything set up. Carissa had a chiropractor appointment, so she just left. We're going to sort of repeat this tomorrow morning. We're going to weigh that whole entire side. And even though I shipped yesterday, or even though I shipped last week, and I usually try to do every other week, I think because I have enough ewe lambs that are also the right size, we're gonna run them all through again tomorrow and select over 100 pounds again, and just keep getting them to the sales barn here in the next few weeks to get this barn empty. I would like to clean it when the wheat is all off so we can get the manure spread, and then we're starting from scratch with a nice clean litter when we bring over those weaned lambs. The other reason I want to clean it out is because I have to get to these feeders. I have asked for a quote on 4 new feeders. Yeah, just been spending a lot of time plugging up holes as best we can, but they are done. We need new ones. Yeah, so these guys will stay in here until I have space across the road, and then them and PETA and Teddy will join and make a pen over yonder. That's a plan anyway, but we'll see. We're just doing everything around wheat harvest and Jessica. So between those two things, hopefully we'll get everything crossed off the list. I'm back in the straw shed. I want to make sure that these bales haven't got any warmer because I want to actually stack them tight against the ones that I have here from last year. I left some space for the last couple loads just because they saw quite a bit of rain. So I just want to do a quick moisture test and temp test with my probe here just to make sure that everything is safe to actually store properly, because I think Danny's planning on coming Wednesday, hopefully, to finish baling what we need for this year. And I have to get these sort of situated in time for him to have our new bales. 13 here. 9. Temperature. 76. 76. 77. 78. 78. 79. I think we're good. Okay, let's do you. 80, 81, 81, and then I'll do last year's 81. I think we're good. All right, these are all last year's bales. These are the 8-footers, and these are all the new bales from this year, except for the back few. So these are all 6.5-footers. That's why there's sort of 2 rows here. We can only fit 1 row on this side. So we make these 8-footers to take advantage of the space, and 6.5-footers so we can get them side by each. But we pretty much filled this. So a few more 6.5-footers in here will get Danny to bale. I think I counted about 42 8-footers to fill this up. And then the rest, I think I have about maybe 60 to go in here of the 6.5-footers. And that's it. Usually wheat harvest, ground conditions are amazing. We're not fighting weather where it's really hard to set up wagons to get filled, but we've had enough rain over the last week that we are into conditions that I see, you know, in that late fall when we're dealing with rain and snow. The ground is just so saturated now that it's hard for us in some of these fields to find a good place to put wagons. The farmstead is up there. We usually sort of load wagons back there behind the barns, but Mark is very fussy when it comes to dragging mud out with our tires, and he doesn't want mud on his dad's laneway. They take a lot of pride on their homesteads and their farmsteads, so he's like, I'm not making their laneway all covered in mud because it's disrespectful. So we're trying to make it work. This is a really quiet side road that I'm on right now, so I don't know. It's frustrating because wheat harvest is the one harvest I really enjoy as a wagon driver, because I don't have to worry about, like, you can just pull into the fields, drop your wagon if you have to. You're not dragging mud in and out, and it's just, there's a lot less stress. But all of a sudden, here we are. It doesn't take much rain to remind you that we are not in control. Good morning. I screwed up. I had a deadline. I was supposed to enter some data in for last night, and because we were doing wheat till, oh, it's not even because of wheat. I just totally forgot it was July 31st yesterday. So, hello, run along, go outside. So yeah, I just have to do this real quick. I remembered as Chris and I were weighing market lambs across the road, I think we have 37 to go. So between this week, maybe next week, depending on Jess's chemo schedule, because she has chemo every day next week. Either next week or the week after, I'm hoping to clean out that barn of all the market lambs. And I would like to clean it out. It's not bad though. It's like, it barely needs cleaned out, but I would like to sort of do it while the guys are here spreading manure. So we'll see. All right, do I know the password to my husband's computer? Maybe not. Well, it is after lunch, and we're kind of going in all directions. I am fluffing some straw here. This is the straw the wheat we took off first. So the straw's been down for 2 weeks, and it's seen quite a bit of rain. So I'm trying to give it a bit of a fluff to dry it out. I think it's pretty dry. We're just trying to lift it off this windrow, because some of these windrows have been driven on by the grain cart and some wagons and stuff. So we're just trying to get it out of those wet ruts. But I think the majority of the straw is already sort of dry. So I think today and tomorrow, Joel's coming in and Danny's coming in. Dan's doing my bales for the sheep, and Joel always buys quite a bit of our straw off of us for his beef cows. Now he could bale for us, but his bales are a bit big for me and Carissa for our straw cart. It's like you lose half the bale when you put it on. So Danny's baler just is a better baler choice for us, so that's why we use him. So this field will be a busy field come tomorrow for sure. They might nose in today yet, but I would imagine it'll be tomorrow. So I'm gonna work away at this for another couple hours. I have to leave around 3 to take Jess to her one and only chemo appointment this week, and then she's done her 3rd round, and there's only one left after this, like one whole round, which is still 7 treatments. But round 4, I can't believe we're almost there. I mean, we're not there yet. What is the craving of the day? Post chemo, we have Wendy's that decided to cook supper for us tonight.
Thanks, Wendy.
We honor thy cravings.
Yeah.
Can I have another fry? Thank you.
I'm really tired.
Yeah.
I'm like falling asleep.
Well, you would think at 8 o'clock after an afternoon in the hospital, my day would be done, but it is not. Mark and Monty filled all the wagons. They finished another field here this afternoon. So I'm gonna run down the road, grab those wagons, start unloading. Mark is back in a cornfield, spraying the corn with fungicide. Most of the corn here is tasseled, and we need to protect it from a couple pretty nasty diseases that have floated up into Ontario over the last few years. It's gotten wet on us, which always adds a bunch of pressure. So he's been doing soybeans, he's been doing corn, he's been doing some of the soybeans twice. Just, it's the perfect environment for fungus and disease to grow in the crops. So he's been sort of trying to juggle wheat harvest and all that stuff. And then he just announced yesterday that our hay is also ready, but we have no time to do it. So we're just looking at it as it's just one job at a time. And when we're done them, we're done them. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow night, because now they're calling for that too. You worked me too late.
Don't get up so early.
I didn't this morning.
Oh, lazy bones.
I think I fell back to sleep. I think it was 6.
Wow.
I know.
How dare you?
You're working me too hard. Grain farmers. Your hours suck.
There are no hours.
I know, that's the problem. Good morning. We had the big divorce this morning, meaning we pulled the boys out from the girls' pens. So these ladies Potentially. There was some actually in action this morning. So that means we could potentially have lambs as late as Christmas Day, which sort of sucks. I think last year I was able to schedule it for December 22nd. Gave us a few days before Christmas, but unfortunately I didn't get to put the rams in until a few days later this year. So lambing will not be, December lambing will not be starting until I believe December 4th and finishing December 25th. Well, that's okay. So they are done, they are out. But what I need to do, every time you move any of these animals around, I have to change my feed sheet for Carissa. So while I'm doing this, I'm a couple days early, but I'm like, I'm gonna forget to do this when I have to do it. So the other thing I'm going to do is change my ewes that are lambing here in a month to their close-up ration. I was feeding close-up 2 weeks before they were due to lamb, and I think I'm supposed to do it closer to 4 weeks. So I did that for the June lambing, seemed to help. So now we're gonna do that for this September lambing and see if it continues to help. And then I have to load up my lambs. It sounds like Mark is already moving wagons. We are on to a 130-acre field of wheat. They're calling for rain as early as 5 o'clock tonight, and we need 2 days to finish. So it's very frustrating. We're almost done, and the weather is just not cooperating. I have asked Jack to come home and give us a hand today, so I think he's gonna leave work maybe an hour early today and come home, spell me off, because I think also Danny is coming to hopefully bale the rest of the straw. But if I'm getting chased with rain again, I'm gonna be super stressed. It's going to be just a long day. I have that feeling. Field, and I think there's like 130 acres here. We combined 2 fields sort of into one to make it sort of more worth the drive, because it's about 5 miles from home. We're getting chased by weather. It's looking like there might be a system that might be coming in at about 5. Dan's coming at 2 to start baling, and Jack might not be here till like 4. I probably should confirm with him when he's coming. And Mark is not really happy because he had a part on his combine on his chaff spreader last year. There was a motor shot on it, and we've only maybe put 50 hours on that spreader, and it just went again. So he's not happy. Ugh. This is when it's really hard to watch as a spouse, because I know exactly how he's feeling. He's feeling really pressured. Okay, Jack just got home. He grabbed my wagons for me, so he's spelling me off. Dan is on his way. He's a bit late, so I don't know if he had a breakdown, but I am ready to go. I'm borrowing my in-laws' little loader. I think it's right there. I can't see in my glasses. It's the one I used yesterday for raking the straw. So I'm gonna grab it and load the bales on the bale wagon, and then just unload it where we did earlier with the telehandler. So I'm all set up, ready to go. The weight on my chest is lifting a little bit. Not sure about Mark because the radar isn't looking very exciting right now. It's 10 to 10, and the breeze stayed up all night, and we have Jack today, and they're calling for chances of pretty severe storms starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Also, I have to take Jess for an oncology appointment. I think she has blood work at 10:45 in London tomorrow, so I can't even help them tomorrow. So Mark just decided to keep going as long as we could tonight. So I bet you he'll be only left with maybe like 30 acres, 25, 30 acres tomorrow, which is great for them. And if we miss the storm, they should easily get it off, just fill wagons that are there, and they won't really need me. Maybe when I get home, I can help unload wagons. So that's kind of nice. I'm feeling really guilty that I have not seen Jess at all today. She was feeling pretty good today, so she even took herself to go get her dressing, her pick line dressing changed, which I felt guilty about because I'm like, that's my job, that's what I should be doing, and I was in the fields, and it's just been a day of like, I've put her first every other day, and she swore me up and down she was fine, but I'm not fine with it. So I've been texting her tonight, just apologizing profusely, and she's like, I'm okay, it's okay. So tomorrow I'll be with her, and that will make me feel better, and hopefully we can get this wheat done. It's been just sort of frustrating dealing with rain. I hate saying that about rain, but it is what it is. We're almost done. I'm just so glad Jack came home to give us a hand tonight. I hope he's not driving back because I'm gonna worry about that. All right, moisture 14.8. Okay, I think our wheat is starting to pick up moisture as we finish off the night here. Minutes. It's 20, at least 9:15, maybe later. Do you like your banana muffins?
Yep.
You're welcome. Keep you eating. Last little triangle. That's it for wheat.
Yes, ma'am.
Not even a nice, pretty way to end.
I actually don't think it's done.
What do you mean? Oh, we won't even fit it?
No.
No.
That's 2023 right there.
That's true. Oh my god.
I could meme 2023. It's a little wedge of wheat.
When you almost finish wheat, but you're left with 1 foot left. 1 foot square. Literally.
It's not a square, it's a triangle.
Bye. Good evening. It has been a long day at the hospital, so I basically just came back right in time for Mark finishing up our last field of wheat. But we do have this tiny little, like 3 acres of oats right here. So we are just taking this off, and then we will be done our summer harvest. So that means we've done barley, canola, wheat, and now oats. We've done a little bit of everything. Not a lot of everything, but a little of everything. So today was really long. Jess and I left home at 9:30 this morning, and we got home at 6. And today was just an oncology appointment, so we just met with our doctor. They were running really behind. Actually, even the blood lab was running really behind, so all day we were just really late. And then we sort of have some good news, but it's intertwined with bad, as cancer and chemo typically is. The bad news is her pulmonary test didn't go as good as the doctor had hoped, and this has always been sort of, we always knew this was a chance that the one drug that Jess has, it's the one that she's been super sensitive to all the way along. It is the drug we've been warned about the most by our professionals that we're working with, and they said if it looks to cause any sort of damage to her lungs in her pulmonary tests, then we will pull it. So the good news slash bad news is they are pulling it, so that's the good news. The bad news is she still had 3 more treatments of it. And also the bad news is there's a reason why they're pulling it, right? Like there is something he didn't like in the results. He said she's not bad, like the levels weren't bad, but they're bad enough obviously that he doesn't want to continue with it. So as for how it all is going to affect her treatment, he has assured us that this particular drug was sort of the icing on top, like the two big heavy hitters are still going to be given to Jess, but he is going to pull this bleomycin from her regimen. The good news means that she could potentially be done as early as next Friday. That means we've gone from August 22nd to be her end date to August 11th, which is like, we were just not prepared for today at all. And then switching into more bad news, her blood work was bad again. Actually, it's worse than before we gave her that break week. So she had another blood transfusion today. That's why we were so late. So between that and some white blood cell injections all weekend, if we can't get her levels good enough by Monday when they check it again, then she can't have chemo next week, which would have been her last week. So wish us luck that Monday everything goes well and that her blood work comes back good, and that we can finish chemo next week. A big sort of change of plans today, and we're not mad about it. We're just really like, what just happened? Sort of good news and sort of bad news.
Previously, on the summer I turned pretty.
You had no right to touch anything in this house.
I'm so excited.